Hello, welcome to Website Tuesdays. Today we're going to talk about SEO. What is SEO? Why you need to think about it if you have a website? And also what kind of steps can you take to make sure that your website is SEO optimized? Well, let's dive in. So first of all, what is SEO? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. We basically make sure that Google and other search engines can easily read through our content, and they also have a really good idea about what kind of content do we provide. Later someone searches for relevant keywords, they could showcase our website as a result. So what happens if you don't have an SEO optimized website? That you can basically miss out on those leads, potential customers that could possibly see your website after a Google search. What is the first step that you can take to make sure that your website is SEO optimized? You're probably wondering, right? So the first step is that probably you have a content on the website. We want to make sure that that one is structured to the search engines so they can read that content easily. For that, we need to add one and only one title to every page and articles, and after that, subtitles and further subtitles based on your content. What also is important after that, that if you have images on those pages or articles, make sure that you add an ALT image tag, which basically means you describe what is on that image. So Google and other search engines then later can showcase your image if someone is searching for a relevant keyword. After our content is structured, what's the next step that we can take to uplevel our SEO game? For that, we need to add a bit more information to each of those articles and pages. With that, Google and other search engines will have a really clear idea about what kind of content do we provide. For that, we need to add SEO titles, SEO descriptions, which are basically summarizing our content on that page, and also SEO keywords. You probably heard about SEO keywords. There are SEO keyword planners, keyword searching tools out there, and so many other tools. We usually suggest our clients to hire an SEO expert for the long term. These experts know exactly the algorithm changes, they keep up with all these changes, and they can provide you with a long-term strategy. So you can really benefit from the SEO on your website. You're probably wondering how a website designer and a developer can help you when it comes to SEO optimization. So what we do, we help you to structurize your content to make sure Google and other search engines can easily read through your content. We also make sure that your website has an optimized speed. It also uses best practices. It loads nicely on the modern browsers and on different screen sizes. So that's what we do, and that also already gives you a really good base for your SEO game. I hear this question a lot. How can I make sure that my website is on the first page of Google? Oh boy, there's no simple answer to that. First of all, what is important when it comes to SEO is the time on the internet. So basically, the time that your website is on the internet for. Google and other search engines won't showcase your website in a search result if it's 1 or 2 days old, because you don't have credibility yet. You didn't provide too much content out there. What you need, of course, what I said already, time, and you also want to provide content regularly that actually gives value to the people. After that, of course, it's very important that your website is SEO optimized. What we already talked about it needs to be structured when it comes to the content. It needs to load fast. It needs to be responsive, which means that it adapts to the different screen sizes, and also it works flawlessly in the modern browsers. And also, you probably don't want to expect that if you have a pizza shop, it's gonna show up on the first page of the results when someone is searching for pizza, because there's just a really broad term, and probably Pizza Hut will be the first one for that because they are in the market for like ever. So yes, what I want to emphasize here that SEO is a long-term game, but if you work on it, it's gonna pay off eventually. So what you wanna do, not just taking 2 hours of your time once and then forget about it, but you want to work on it, think about it constantly, and probably that's the easiest with an SEO expert. So they can provide a strategy and you just need to follow that. Okay, that was our episode for today. See you soon with something new and interesting about websites.